Hello, welcome to Local Chats. I'm Lewis Adams, and my guest here is Floreena Forbes. Hello, how are you going?
Well, hello, Lewis. It's great to be here today and just to be able to have a little chat with you.
Do you want to just briefly introduce yourselves to people who may not have heard of you?
Well, my name is Floreena Forbes, and I've been in the country music industry now for quite a lot of years, probably close up to 50 years. During that time, it's been a wonderful experience in my life.
Do you want to talk about some of your influences or things that inspired you to get into music?
The love of music has always been within me from when I was a little girl. When I was playing or doing anything, I would just get around and sing all day. So that when I got to the age of being able to work out what I could do with those feelings, we used to sing with my father. We'd travel all the way up to the Murray River fishing, doing all those things, and he'd have a squeeze box or a mouth organ, and as a family we'd sit down around the campfire and just sing along. So I suppose that was my earliest times that I started to sort of realise that music was a big part of my life.
I'm hearing a lot of familiar things there because I'm personally a big lover of music. But for me, I was always interested in playing, but I never had the patience. But you obviously had a different experience when you decided to start playing music.
Well, not really.
Oh, really?
And I mean, I bet you play something now, do you?
Not well or at all. There are very, very basic things that I can do on the piano, but very basic. I've never had any formal lessons or anything like that. Anything that I can do is self-taught. And
right.
I don't consider myself a musician, although it is something that I find fun, even though I don't really know anything.
Well, my dad was a member of the Eagle Hawk Brass Band, going back a lot of years, and I mean, if he was alive today, he'd be about 107. So I'm going back a long time, and he played the big double bass trumpet thing.
Oh, wow.
And that was brilliant. And so I guess music has been in the family. And as a young girl, I tried to learn the guitar, but like yourself, I didn't do anything with it. And it wasn't I didn't really get the opportunity to learn my music until round about 1965. So it was quite some time before I actually did do something with my music. I got a guitar from a music shop up in View Street here in Bendigo in Victoria, and I dropped it, and all the strings broke, and I took it back to the shop, and anyway, money was very, very scarce in those days, so he said to me, if I would come and cut his wife's hair and perm it and curl it and everything, he would give me the guitar, and that was the payment for the guitar. So that's how I actually got my first guitar.
That's a really great story.
It is a good story. And I did, and I got my first guitar, which I've still got now. My niece has it, and it still looks brand new. I've, of course, moved on to other guitars, and my niece loves it and looks after it really well for me.
Oh, that's really good. It's especially great to have something that has that long sentimental value.
Yes,
as well. That's still in your life.
I am a very sentimental person. I've still got the guitar that I played in the Tumbleweed band, and it was a 12-string guitar.
Yep.
I had two 12-string guitars, and my first husband, my second husband, gave me a 12-string, and then later on, Robert, the person I'm with now, he bought me this 12-string guitar. But unfortunately, and I don't keep getting married every year or anything like that, but this 12-string was really popular, and the unfortunate thing is now I can't play because the neck is so wide that my hands won't work too well. So I've bought myself another guitar, which is smaller.
You just briefly touched on the Tumbleweed band. Is that the earliest band that you played with, or one of the earliest?
No, my career started my music career started in around 1965.
Yep.
But it wasn't until 1977 that I actually formed the Tumbleweed band.
Okay.
And I I did that with my husband, Wal, and we had a great experience. We'd sort of been jamming together. His son was a drummer.
Yep.
And we all used to get together and jam. And then Olive Bice, one of Bendigo's most popular country music performers that's been around longer than I have, she had an engagement with the family that she couldn't fulfill, and it was a wedding anniversary. Asked us if we'd go up there, and when we did, we went into this hall, and there was over 100 people in the hall. And we nearly dropped dead because we thought it was just going to be like a family gathering. When we played there, we decided then, seeing it all went so well, we'd start the Tumbleweed band, and that's where it started.
You weren't expecting that many people to be there?
I wasn't expecting that many people to be there, and it was a situation that once you were there, you had to do it. All these people were looking at you as if you were a really good band going to start up, which it did sound quite good, and everybody seemed to enjoy the music, but it was certainly something that threw us in at the last minute.
All right, let's move forward a little bit. Something that I found interesting was you've done some Dolly Parton lookalike stuff.
Well, yes, and that never left me, and it's still going today. I did a Dolly Parton act for a bit of a joke at the Bendigo Club going back around about 1980. It went over so very well, we thought, we might pop an act like that in the band and do that every now and then. So every now and then I would do that, and it was something that I kept getting asked to do all the time. Will you do the Dolly Parton? Will you do Dolly Parton? And I used to do it and make a bit of a joke with the audience, and I'd dress up as Dolly, and I certainly was well out in front, Lewis. And I had long blonde hair, and. Yep. And I'd sit on someone's knee, or I'd put some bright red lipstick on, kiss the fellas with no hair on the top of the head and leave a lipstick mark and that sort of thing. And it turned into quite a comical full show. One big experience that I can remember, the Wandong Country Music Festival was being held, and they had a Dolly Parton contest. So I thought, I'll go in this. Went up there, the band was playing there, but I thought I'd dress up as Dolly and go in the contest. And Mary Maxwell was the editor of the Weekly Times at that time. Yep. And she said, well, as far as I'm concerned, you've won it. I didn't win it. Another lady won it, but they thought she was smitten by my appearance. And so it was me that was on the television. It was me that was in the paper. And the poor lady that did win it barely got a mention.
Was there a prize to the contest? Did she at least
no,
get
there
that?
was no prize. I didn't, and I didn't win. I don't know if she actually got something, but I was even asked whilst I was at the show if they gave me a police escort, would I walk around the festival with all the people? And so I walked around the Wandong Country Music Festival with 2 police escorts, and certainly caused a lot of laughter and a lot of fun. It was good.
That would have been an amazing
and
experience.
I'm still doing it today.
With the police escort?
Not with the police escort. No.
The Tumbleweed Band isn't the only group you've played with. You've also had a few other, I think it's the BBB Bluegrass Band?
That was called the Bendigo Bluegrass Band.
Okay.
And I've always had a great passion for bluegrass music, and I still have. And I did have the Tumbleweed band first, and then I lost my husband Wally, but we did continue on with other members of the band. But the BBB Bluegrass Band was a great band because there was 8 of us. We had mandolin, a dobro, big slap bass. Yep. We had Penny Somerville was on the fiddle, and we had like 2 guitars, and it was just absolutely fantastic. And we only actually did a few gigs, and but when we did, we just absolutely loved it. Bluegrass is wonderful because you get a great variety of instruments.
Yeah, well, that's right. I guess that's one of the.
Do you like bluegrass
I'm not really. I don't really consider myself an expert in it, but every time I've heard some bluegrass music, I have.
It is very
enjoyed
moving.
Yeah, it's hard to not enjoy it.
It is, and also with the bluegrass, you get a lot of harmony singers, like singers that harmonise with one another, and it's not an easy task. Not everybody can harmonise, but people that can, like everybody's voices are a different pitch, and some people you can harmonise with, some people are a little bit more difficult. But with the bluegrass music, yes, it's wonderful. You get all those instruments, you get the harmonies, you get the lot. It's happy music. And sad, I suppose, in some songs.
Do you have any sort of favourite memories from your time performing or your time just involved with music in general?
Well, that depends. How much time have you got today?
Well, we do have limited time, but maybe.
But there's many great times I couldn't tell you about. Well, the highlights of the career is that, like all bands, we travelled to all different clubs in New South Wales, Victoria, some in Melbourne, a long way away, and of course at that time we would tow the trailer band equipment with my car, and of course the boys would have a bit of a drink coming home, so I always was the one that drove. And but anyway, one night I nearly went to sleep, and I got home, and after having such a bad scare, and I said, I'm selling the car and I'm getting a small one, and from now on we get a bus.
Yep.
And we used to fill the bus with our fans.
Oh,
and we put
idea.
the trailer on the back of the bus, and then all the clubs and everything that we performed at, I had a driver of my own, and he would drive, and we'd take everybody, and it was just absolutely a lot of fun. And a lot of those people that used to come on the bus still contact me today and keep in touch with me, and they're great memories.
That's wonderful. Performing country music isn't the only musical thing that you do. You also do community radio. That's actually how I know you.
That's right.
You're currently with Phoenix FM, like myself, and right. You've also been with Triple C in the past.
I have started in Triple C around about 1996 or somewhere like that. We had some great times there, and Jeff Morris, one of our bluegrass DJs, actually started his career there with me, and we used to do the bluegrass programs and country music programs there. But then a little bit later down the track, we a few of us decided that we would like to have this community station, which is now Phoenix 106.7, and we worked very, very hard to get the station on the airways, but with great achievement from a lot of people and everything, here we are today on Phoenix 106.7.
It's a very great station, and I'm not just saying that because I'm biased.
No, of course not. Well, one day you'll be doing what I'm doing. Somebody will be talking to you and asking you about the experiences you've had at Phoenix FM and where you actually started. You might be in another community radio station somewhere.
I certainly hope so. I hope I get asked about Phoenix FM for a long time because it's a very great thing, and I know socially I'll bump into people and they go, "Oh, how's Phoenix FM going?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, it's going really well." You know.
Well, one thing about a true community radio station is a station that caters for the community, and all things in the community are vitally important. And through doing it this way too, you also meet so many great people and you get so many great stories. And there's always something out there that'll interest the people, whether your interest might be young music, mine is the older music or whatever, it's all music. But we all have our likes and dislikes. We have Irish music, we have Scottish music, and we have jazz. Community covers the whole lot. And, of course, our country.
Well, what I love about community radio, Phoenix FM being one of the stations, is you can turn it on, and you can, at any given point, you can't really even predict what you're going to hear. Sometimes you can turn it on and just go, oh wow, you know, here is, as you mentioned, there's like Irish music or Celtic music or something like that, and you just go, oh, this is actually really interesting. This isn't, because I know a lot of the larger radio stations, they'll go for the larger appeal, whereas a community radio station, there's more space to spread that out a bit. I really like that.
Community stations can get it out there, and in the world today especially, charities and special events are very prominent today, and there's always fundraising that's being done to help somebody, and the community radio stations are the ones that get the message out there.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Do you want to just expand a little bit on your experiences with the people starting Phoenix FM?
I can say that they're all good people to work with, friendly people, and all wanting the same things. When we first formed as a group, we formed in church halls and public halls to talk about what we could do to start the radio station. It eventually got started with a committee that was willing to work and strive hard to be able to be, apply for licenses and all those things. And it's like a baby, I suppose. You have to crawl before you walk. And we were very patient. And eventually our effort certainly got us where we wanted to go, because there was many that said, no, not a hope will you be able to have your own prefix, but we did. We worked at it very hard, and we got it, and we're very proud of it today.
Yeah, it's definitely not an easy task, starting a radio station from essentially scratch, but it's amazing that it actually was able to happen. Enough people were able to get together, combine their resources, their time. And being a community station, a lot of the founding members would have had other obligations in their lives. Some would have had jobs.
Yes, well, that's right. You have to work it all in with everybody, and you'd try to make a time to meet that did actually suit everybody. With time and effort, with a lot of people, Phoenix was born, and very, very, very proud of our radio station here in Bendigo in Victoria.
Thank you, Floreena. Do you have any closing statements or anything else you would like to say before we end for today?
Well, I'd like to talk a little bit about the fundraising, Lewis.
Oh, yes? Yep.
Okay. Now, over the years, it raised a lot of money, not just Phoenix, but myself as my own name, Floreena Forbes, or and other musicians here in Bendigo. We've worked tirelessly to raise money for very sad cases that people need help with. And presently I'm organising a fundraiser at the Kangaroo Flat Sports Club here in Bendigo on the 18th of July 2014. We're raising money for a little girl, not a little girl, a young girl of around 18 or 19 years of age. And her brother is 20. And sadly, the disease is called Niemann-Pick type C disease, and the sad thing is that there's no cure, and their lifespan is not very long. And so we're working hard to try and raise money for them to continue to find a cure for this disease. So anybody that is interested, it would be great to see them come along.
All right, and I will post some details on the neolocal.net just below where this podcast is embedded. So that sounds like a very good cause. And
yes, thank you, Lewis.
Thank you for coming in. It's been a pleasure talking to you. It's been a pleasure having a local chat with you.
I'm
trying that out as something to say towards the end. It's been a pleasure having a local chat.
But nothing like a local chat. It's pretty good.
This has been Local Chats for another fortnight. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time. You can find me on Twitter @TheNewLocal. You can go to www.thenewlocal.net where you'll be able to find this podcast. You can find the other podcasts I'm doing, which called Bendigo Decides, in which Tom O'Callaghan and I discuss the state election, and there's some articles and some other stuff there. Thank you, Floreena.
Thank you.
All right. Have a nice day. Goodbye.